So Caitlin Clark is, let's be completely real, like, when people are talking about these CBA negotiations and everyone's saying the most important players are the people that are on the committee, let's be completely real. The most important player in CBA negotiations is Caitlin Clark. The second most important player in CBA negotiations is not necessarily Caitlin Clark, or say obviously not Caitlin Clark. It's Angel Reese. The third most important player is Sabrina Ionescu. The fourth most important player, AJ Wilson. Fifth most important player, Paige Beckers. And maybe if you want to put Paige Beckers at third, fair enough. They are the most important.
She didn't hint at it. She stated it outright. Caitlin Clark, the undisputed focal point of the WNBA CBA negotiations, spoke about the 2026 season not as a question mark, but as a given. That steady assurance, echoed by another foundational figure in the league, sends a clear and powerful signal. The WNBA isn't going anywhere. This wasn't empty optimism from a star player. It was a deliberate, strategic message. A firm declaration. A direct answer to the growing whispers of a potential strike. The implications are enormous for players, fans, and the future of women's basketball itself. When the league's most influential voices speak with this level of certainty, their words resonate louder than any closed-door meeting, and that confidence cannot be dismissed.
Caitlin Clark saying this, and obviously Angel Reese during the week was talking about her biggest goals, and she was talking about playing in the playoffs. So you got the two most important players in league negotiations, talking as if it's a guarantee that it happens. They're talking as if it's a guarantee, and that's one of those things that I don't think people really are like taking into account, is that it really does matter when you've got these players talking like it's completely guaranteed. Talking like...
And she wasn't speaking in isolation. Angel Reese, an imposing force in her own right and widely regarded as the second most pivotal voice in these high-stakes talks, openly discussed her long-term goals, pointedly focusing on playoff runs in the seasons ahead. That distinction is crucial. When the WNBA's two most influential stars, the very players who fuel ratings and draw major sponsorships, speak about the future as if it's already locked in, it carries real weight. They're actively pushing back against uncertainty, easing fan anxiety, and sending a unified message to partners and stakeholders. This league is pressing ahead. That kind of alignment isn't accidental, it's strategic.
Imagine your legacy being destroying the sport that you made a career on. Like, if the WNBPA, like, if the PA calls a strike, and people are like, oh, 97% of the players like voted voted for a strike. No, they didn't. 97% of the players basically said they trust the CBA. They trust the CBA. Or say not trust CBA, they trust the PA. That if that they're okay to strike if...
The weight of Caitlin Clark's and Angel Reese's remarks cannot be ignored. In the tense landscape of CBA negotiations, every statement from figures of their influence is dissected and amplified. When players of their stature, rather than union officials or committee voices, speak about future seasons with certainty, it shifts the narrative entirely. That measured confidence isn't accidental, it's calculated. It's meant to steady anxieties and project stability at a critical moment. This goes far beyond soundbites or optimism. It's a purposeful move to shield the league's momentum from being eroded by speculation or doubt. They understand the power of their platform and are using it deliberately to help safeguard the WNBA's long-term trajectory.
Like voted for a strike. No, they didn't. 97% of the players basically said they trust the CBA. They trust the CBA. Or say not trust CBA, they trust the PA. That if that they're okay to strike if nothing happens. That they're okay with the strike as a last resort. And if nothing else, that vote is just in solidarity. Like, the reality is that even if it was 60%, it would make absolutely no difference. But the players also know that if half the league, if it ended up being 60% voting, that the league would just... While CBA committee members may lead the negotiations on paper, the league's real leverage often belongs to its biggest stars.
Caitlin Clark is far more than just another player. She is a cultural phenomenon and a standalone brand. Even without an official role in the talks, her public words carry more weight than endless private discussions. When she speaks, the message reaches fans, sponsors, and investors directly, cutting through the noise and speculation. Along with Angel Reese, Clark is shaping the league's future from the hardwood instead of the boardroom, highlighting a modern shift in where true power and influence now reside in sports.
Aren't necessarily like taking into account how important it is. The likes of a Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese talking as if it's a guarantee, how important that is. Because at the end of the day, these are players that Nike, Reebok, these big brands are kind of like. Nike are putting a lot of stock in Caitlin Clark. Like, there's a lot going into Caitlin Clark. I think this Team USA camp, and imagine if Team USA fuck about and don't pick Caitlin Clark. Nike on the spot would probably just drop them. The rumor is, again, this is
a major misconception has taken hold following the strike authorization vote. Many interpreted the 97% approval as a sign that players are eager to walk away, threatening the 2026 season. In reality, the message is far more measured. That decisive margin reflects unity, a strong endorsement of the Players Association and its leadership. It represents preparedness, not intent, a signal that a strike would only be considered if meaningful. Fair progress proves impossible. Far from trying to sabotage the season, the vote is a strategic show of solidarity and leverage, reinforcing determination rather than any desire to harm the league. The players themselves have helped.
Complete online rumor I'm seeing on Twitter. This doesn't mean anything, but the rumor is that the Caitlin Clark shoe is going to be revealed during a Super Bowl commercial. That is what the rumor is. That is going to be revealed during the Super Bowl, which is what, like, I'm just trying to think when it comes down to it. When is the Super Bowl? It's start of February. It's always going to be the start of February anyway. It was the 10th of February last year, I think. It was 10th of February. Either way, though. Look, at the end of the day, this
show of unity is essential. Even if a strike is improbable, the possibility alone represents the players' most powerful bargaining chip in the fight for better pay and working conditions. Without clear, collective resolve, the WNBA Players Association would have little ability to secure meaningful progress. The players recognize this reality. To push for a projected 6,700% increase in compensation, they must remain firmly aligned. This isn't about halting the league's momentum. It's about elevating it, setting a higher standard, and ensuring players receive a fair share of the growth and success they are helping to create.
In March, they are all going to be a lead-in to what is going to be the biggest WNBA season ever, because the assumption is like that the season is going to happen. The Caitlin Clark is going to be healthy. The Paige Becker is going to be even better. The Age is going to continue her dominance. The Fee is going to be healthy coming into the season. That Angel Reese is going to have the most competent team around her that she's had in her career. And by the way, so many people were like, oh, and rival play means nothing. I was like, oh yeah, winning and losing means nothing. But I'm like, stats mean nothing. But I'm like,